Chapter 1: The Sun's Gentle Retreat. The sun, a vast and ancient orb, began its slow journey downward. It was a deliberate, unhurried descent towards the western horizon. Golden light spilled across the sweeping plains and rocky outcrops. Each moment, a subtle shift in the day's diminishing brilliance. The very air, which had shimmered with a dry, dusty warmth, softened its embrace. A gentle coolness, almost imperceptible at first, began to settle upon everything. Dust motes, previously dancing vigorously in bright sunbeams, now drifted languidly. They were slowly coming to rest upon the parched earth and weathered stones. The vibrant sounds of the active daytime world began their slow, rhythmic fade. The persistent chirping of unseen insects, a steady thrum, gradually lessened its urgency. Distant calls of various birds, once sharp and clear, softened into vague echoes. A profound and deepening hush descended with quiet certainty upon the land. The large, sun-baked rocks, having absorbed the day's immense heat, now gently radiated it. They offered a faint, comforting warmth to any hand that might reach out and touch them. Long, attenuated shadows stretched far across the landscape, slowly merging one into another. They began to subtly blur the once sharply defined contours of the familiar surroundings. The stoic figures gathered loosely around the small, patiently smoldering fire remained remarkably still. Their collective movements were minimal, almost entirely imperceptible to the casual observer. Their ancient eyes, filled with timeless patience, were fixed steadily upon the eastern expanse of the sky. Nothing tangible was yet visible there, only the ever-deepening blue of the vast atmosphere. It was an ancient, primal vigil, a patient and deeply ingrained part of their existence. The earthy scent of dry soil, mingled with the faint aroma of fading leaves, hung heavily in the evening air. It was a deep, primal perfume, as old and enduring as the very land beneath their feet. The first, exceedingly faint stars began their hesitant prickling through the encroaching twilight. They appeared as tiny, almost imperceptible points of light, barely discernible against the fading hues. These earliest stars were mere whispers, fleeting hints of the immense, star-strewn canvas above them. The surrounding world was gradually transforming into a place of softer, less defined edges. Distances became increasingly more challenging to accurately judge in the dimming, diffused light. The once familiar features of the landscape now appeared subtly altered, veiled by the growing gloom. No one dared to speak in anything more than a low, almost inaudible murmur of voices. Their quiet conversations were hushed, barely audible whispers, just enough to affirm their shared presence. The contained warmth of the small, flickering fire formed a single, comforting circle of light. It bravely pushed back against the steadily increasing coolness that crept in from the vast outside. The essential tasks of the long day were now completed, each duty meticulously fulfilled. The necessary foraging for edible plants and small game was entirely finished for the evening. Their simple, yet vital tools had been carefully laid aside for the duration of the night. This was a sacred time for deep rest, for quiet contemplation, or simply for waiting. The last delicate blush of soft pink slowly drained away from the western horizon. It gracefully yielded its place to a deeper, more profound, and incredibly solemn blue. The silent, indifferent world continued its slow, ceaseless turning upon its ancient axis. It was utterly unconcerned with the fleeting anxieties or hopes of its human inhabitants. only with its own grand, majestic, and immensely measured celestial pace. The coolness in the air became distinctly more pronounced with each passing moment. A gentle, almost imperceptible shiver might occasionally pass through the ambient atmosphere. It served as a subtle, yet firm reminder of the night's full, inevitable embrace. The act of waiting was never considered a burdensome chore, but an integral part of their being. It was a fundamental rhythm, a sacred observation that had been diligently passed down through countless generations. Each slow, measured breath taken was another quiet moment deliberately passing into history. Each soft, gentle flicker of the small fire was a tiny, ephemeral marker of the creeping passage of time. The profound silence deepened further, reaching an almost sacred level of stillness. Only the most subtle, enduring sounds of life could now be heard, murmuring softly in the vastness. Chapter 2: The Cosmic Veil Deepens. The sky had now fully transitioned into a deep, rich, velvety blue. It was a color so profound it verged on absolute black in its intense density. The scattered stars, which had initially been faint, now shone with an increasingly clearer light. More and more celestial bodies continued their unhurried emergence with each passing second. They appeared to delicately dust the immense, dark expanse of the firmament above. The ambient air grew noticeably colder, a crispness that unmistakably signaled the night's full and unyielding arrival. The distant, haunting hoot of an unseen owl resonated softly through the quiet valleys. It was a lonely, yet deeply familiar and comforting sound, a natural part of the nocturnal chorus. The subtle, continuous rustle of unseen small creatures moving methodically through the dense undergrowth could be heard. Life, in its myriad forms, persisted and thrived, even within the deepest, most hidden shadows of the night. The small fire, a persistent beacon, now provided the solitary and primary source of all illumination. Its lively flames danced and swayed, casting erratic, captivating shadows. These playful shadows flickered mesmerizingly upon the stoic faces of those gathered close. They also danced upon the rough, uneven textures of the protective cave entrance. The thin, ethereal column of smoke from the burning wood rose gracefully into the cold, still night air. It dissipated swiftly and silently, vanishing without a trace into the vast, open space above. A faint, persistent scent of burning wood, a deeply comforting and ancient aroma, lingered. The eastern horizon remained an unbroken, solid, and intensely dark line against the sky. There was still no discernible break in its profound and unwavering silhouette, no hint of light. The patience exhibited by the quiet watchers was absolute, unwavering, and truly profound. They had, through generations of ingrained wisdom, learned to intimately live by these fundamental cycles: the unrelenting sun, the ever-present stars, the predictable progression of the seasons, and, most crucially, the slow, rhythmic dance of the moon across the night sky. The entire landscape was now transformed into a stark study in muted, monochrome tones. Shapes and forms became increasingly indistinct, their once clear outlines now merely suggested. The familiar world seemed to have gracefully retreated into its own shadowy, enigmatic self. The sense of touch became an increasingly vital means of perception in the profound darkness. The cool, unyielding feel of the solid ground beneath their firmly planted feet. The rough, comforting surface of a well-worn, smooth river stone grasped in a hand. The gentle, radiated warmth emanating from the body of a trusted companion seated nearby. No abrupt or hurried movements dared to disturb the profound and encompassing quiet. Every action was performed with deliberate intent, each motion meticulously measured. Perhaps a low, almost inaudible sigh, or a soft, almost imperceptible shifting of their weight. The constellations above continued to grow clearer and more distinct with each passing moment. They revealed familiar, ancient patterns, stories implicitly told through the timeless arrangement of stars. These celestial guides had led countless journeys across vast, untamed lands for millennia. They silently offered an enduring and comforting assurance of inherent cosmic order. The overwhelming vastness of the cosmos above was a profoundly humbling sight, a constant, silent reminder of the inherent smallness of fleeting human existence. All against the truly grand and incomprehensibly immense scale of the universe itself. The cooling stones surrounding the central fire slowly, gradually relinquished their stored heat. The glowing embers within the fire pit now pulsed with a steady, captivating inner light. They were like miniature, self-contained suns, bravely defiant in the rapidly gathering gloom. The subtle sounds of the immediate surroundings now seemed sharpened, almost magnified. The gentle, persistent crackle of the steadily burning fire, the soft, rhythmic breathing of those seated closely by, a shared, silent symphony. The profound stillness of the night itself magnified these otherwise tiny, insignificant noises. There was no urgency whatsoever in their deeply ingrained and practiced waiting. Only the slow, inexorable, and utterly predictable march of the vast celestial sphere. The dark, heavy blanket of true night was now fully and completely unfurled. It stretched majestically from one distant horizon to the other, enveloping the entire land. The abstract concept of time itself seemed to stretch and then gently blur into indistinctness. Minutes and hours had no precise, defined meaning in this primal, ancient context. Only the seamless, natural progression from the bright, active day to the quiet, dark night, and the deeply ingrained anticipation of the moon's inevitable, silent ascent. The still air was now noticeably thick with the distinctive, cool scent of night, a gentle dampness slowly beginning to settle upon the various forms of vegetation. It was a uniquely cool, refreshingly clean, and deeply familiar nocturnal aroma. The act of waiting was a profound, deeply shared, and intensely communal experience. A collective, unwavering gaze directed perpetually towards the eastern expanse of the sky. A silent, wordless communion with the fundamental, unwavering rhythm of the world. The distant stars glittered with an almost indifferent, cold, yet mesmerizing brilliance. They offered no explicit comfort, no urgent message, no specific directive. Only their steady, timeless, and endlessly enduring presence in the vast void. Chapter 3. The Moon's Whispered Promise. A profoundly subtle, almost imperceptible, change began to manifest itself on the eastern rim. The deepest, most impenetrable blackness of the distant horizon slowly began to lighten its oppressive grip. It was not a sudden, dramatic burst of vibrant light that pierced the profound darkness. Rather, it was a supremely gradual, almost hesitant, softening of the absolute blackness that prevailed. A faint, almost ethereal luminescence, barely there, hinted at something unseen beyond the curve of the earth. The quiet watchers, with their ancient, patient wisdom, stirred, but only by the slightest, most careful degree. Their collective gaze remained intensely fixed, unwavering, upon that one hopeful point in the vast night. This was the very first whispered hint of the moon's silent, majestic arrival into their world. A pale, luminous, and gracefully curved edge slowly began to appear above the earth's curved line. It seemed, almost impossibly, to cling with great effort to the very last discernible line of the ancient earth. It was not yet truly bright, far from casting any significant illumination upon the land. It was merely a delicate, tentative suggestion of an impending, glorious light. The surrounding, clinging darkness seemed to momentarily hesitate, perhaps reluctant to release it. Reluctant to release this nascent light to the vast, open expanse of the night sky above. The ambient air remained distinctly cold, a persistent chill that enveloped all living things. The countless stars above continued their silent, unwavering display, shining with brilliant intensity. Their established brilliance was now slowly, inexorably challenged by this newly emerging light. The moon, in its patient, unhurried, and truly majestic ascent, seemed to pull itself upward. It rose with an ancient, inherent, and utterly silent power, a force beyond human comprehension. A significant segment of its massive, ethereal orb gradually became clearly visible above the distant line. It appeared as a curved, almost supernatural sliver of pale, shimmering silver against the dark. It continued to cast no discernible shadows yet, only a soft, widely diffused, and gentle illumination. The surrounding world, previously lost in the profound darkness, slowly began to regain some definition. Shapes that were previously merged into an undifferentiated mass now acquired faint, ethereal outlines. The distant, familiar hills slowly gained a ghostly, almost dreamlike presence in the dim light. The moon's light intensified, but with an excruciatingly slow and deliberate, almost painful pace. It was decidedly not the harsh, overbearing, and direct light of the dominant sun. It was instead a supremely gentle, deeply ethereal, and profoundly soothing glow. A subtle, calming light that silently invited deep, quiet, and introspective contemplation. The figures gathered closely by the fire remained entirely silent, their attention fully captivated. They were mesmerized by the slow, unfolding spectacle of the moon's majestic ascent. The moon continued its seemingly endless upward journey with an unwavering, silent determination. It grew steadily larger with each passing moment, and its light grew progressively brighter. Its ancient, familiar craters and various unique features slowly became distinctly visible. It was a known, deeply familiar, and profoundly comforting presence in the vast night sky. The faint, earthy scent of damp soil now subtly mingled with the lingering wood smoke from the fire. It created a quiet, harmonious, and truly primal symphony in the cool night air. The long, patient waiting was now undoubtedly drawing to its inevitable conclusion. The profound journey from the absolute darkness of night to the gentle embrace of moonlight. It was a majestic transition that had been diligently observed countless times before. Each and every time, it remained a moment of immense, deeply spiritual significance. The full, luminous orb of the moon slowly, majestically cleared the eastern horizon. It hung suspended in the vastness, a brilliant, almost impossibly perfect disk of light. It gracefully bathed the entire surrounding landscape in its soft, silvery, ethereal glow. The shadows, which had previously been deep, indistinct, and formless, began to stretch. They were now long, elongated, and almost ethereal shadows dancing gently on the earth. The entire world was dramatically transformed by this single magnificent celestial event. From the oppressive, inky blackness of the deepest night, to the soft, luminous, and profoundly comforting embrace of the moon's light. The very air itself seemed to feel subtly different, lighter, perhaps, or more resonant. A gentle, collective sigh might softly escape from someone's lips, a shared exhalation, a silent, deeply personal acknowledgement of its long-awaited, majestic arrival. The moon was now a steadfast guide, a beacon in the vast, encompassing darkness, a silent, ever-present companion for the long, quiet, and mysterious nocturnal hours. Its gentle, diffused light softly softened the otherwise harsh edges of the rugged world. It made the most familiar surroundings appear profoundly mystical and otherworldly. The arduous, patient waiting was, without any doubt, always profoundly worth it. For this precise, singular moment of silent, unwavering, and ancient majesty, the Stone Age night, now fully illuminated by this timeless, ancient, celestial light, it was a perfect, tranquil time for a deep and restorative rest, all under the silent, ever-watchful gaze of the unwavering, ancient moon. The grand, cosmic cycle had completed itself yet again for another night, and the long, slow, profound night had truly, finally, and utterly begun. A perfect, unhurried time for the deepest and most dreamless sleep. Chapter 4. The Moon's Steady Vigil. The moon, now fully ascended, commanded the silent dome of the sky. It was a powerful, unwavering presence, a sentinel in the cosmic expanse. Its light poured down, a silver cascade, over the sleeping landscape. Every rock, every tree, every blade of grass was bathed in its cool glow. The shadows cast by the fire were now distinct, sharp against the moonlit earth. They stretched long and thin, like silent, dark sentinels themselves. The air had grown still and bitingly cold, yet the moonlight brought a sense of calm. The distant sounds of the night, the rustle, the hoot, continued their soft chorus. They were muffled by the vast, quiet blanket that the moonlight seemed to spread. The figures around the fire had settled into a deeper stillness, a more profound quiet. Some had begun to drift into sleep, their forms softened by the lunar glow. Their breathing was slow and even, a gentle rhythm in the deep stillness. The fire, now reduced to a bed of glowing embers, offered a constant, subtle warmth. It was a tiny, beating heart of heat against the vastness of the moonlit night. Smoke wisped lazily upwards, catching the silver light before vanishing into the dark. The eastern horizon, where the moon had first appeared, was now a seamless line. It was part of the moon's domain, fully integrated into the night's silent reign. The stars, while still present, seemed to recede slightly in the moon's brilliance. Their countless pinpricks of light were softened by the moon's dominant glow. The celestial tapestry remained, but now it had a clear, shining centerpiece. The contours of the hills, once indistinct, were now starkly outlined in silver. Their ancient forms stood in silent testament against the luminous sky. The world, under this particular light, felt different, almost transformed. It was a realm of dreams, of quiet contemplation, of primal existence. The sense of time had ceased to hold any urgent meaning whatsoever. It was merely the slow, unending progression of the moon across the sky, a journey that would end only with the eventual whisper of the coming dawn. The The cold dew began to settle gently upon the exposed surfaces of the land. It formed tiny, shimmering pearls of moisture on leaves and stones. The scent of the earth, cool and damp, mingled with the lingering wood smoke. It created a unique, nocturnal perfume, ancient and deeply familiar. The waiting was truly over. The moon was here, a constant, silent presence. It was a beacon for wanderers, a guide for hunters, a solace for the weary. Its light held no harshness, no demanding urgency, only gentle reassurance. The deep, rhythmic quietude of the night deepened further under its watchful eye. Each sleeping breath was a tiny ripple in the vast, calm ocean of night. The dreams that came were perhaps influenced by the silent, silver light. Images of plains, of prey, of family, woven into the fabric of sleep. The moon continued its slow, majestic arc across the boundless sky. It was a silent guardian of the ancient Stone Age world, a world lost to time, but forever etched in the turning of the spheres. The night was long, and the rest was deep under the moon's timeless gaze, a true, unhurried history for sleep, endless in its quiet progression. The very air hummed with a low, inaudible frequency of cosmic peace. Each moment stretched, becoming part of the endless, tranquil flow. The profound stillness was broken only by the softest whispers of life. Chapter 5: The Unseen Passing of Hours. The moon held its high position, a silent orb in the vast expanse above. Its light now directly overhead, casting minimal shadows directly beneath objects. The world below was awash in a uniform, ethereal silver glow. This was the deepest part of the night, a time of profound quiet and ultimate rest. The air had reached its coldest point, a crisp, biting chill that permeated everything. Yet, within the shelters and around the deep embers, a gentle warmth persisted. The sounds of the nocturnal creatures, once active, had also mellowed. The hoot of the owl was less frequent, the rustle of mice more subdued. A universal stillness seemed to encompass the entire living landscape. The figures, now mostly deeply asleep, lay in their simple arrangements. Their forms were barely discernible humps under their animal skin coverings. Each breath was a testament to the safety and peace of the temporary haven. The fire, a mere memory of its daytime vigor, pulsed with a steady orange-red glow. It was a living heart in the darkness, providing comfort through its silent embers. The faint scent of burnt wood and drying herbs lingered around the sleeping forms. It was a primal aromatherapy, a deep connection to their ancient existence. The horizon, now entirely consumed by the vastness of the night, was invisible. There was no demarcation between the sky and the distant, sleeping earth. The stars, countless and seemingly infinite, continued their silent journey. They moved with the turning of the earth, creating celestial trails unseen. The moonlight, omnipresent, flattened the landscape, removing all harshness. It made the familiar surroundings seem alien, dreamlike, suspended in time. The concept of individual minutes and hours had long dissolved into meaninglessness. Time was a continuum, marked only by the slow, imperceptible movement of the moon. The dew on the vegetation had grown heavier, forming distinct, glistening drops. Each one caught and reflected the moon's cool light, tiny jewels on the earth. The cold, clean scent of the night intensified, a refreshing contrast to the day. It was a profound invitation to deep, restorative slumber for all weary souls. The moon's vigil was unwavering, a cosmic promise of return and continuity. It had seen countless nights, witnessed myriad lives beneath its silent gaze. Its light seeped into the deepest crevices, touching every hidden corner. The deep quietude of the Stone Age night was a sanctuary of peace. The dreams that passed through the minds of the sleepers were vast and untamed. Echoes of hunts, of gatherings, of shared stories around a flickering flame. The moon, a silent artist, painted the world in shades of silver and profound shadow. It transformed the ordinary into something mystical and infinitely beautiful. The long, slow hours of the night passed with an almost imperceptible grace, each moment a breath within the larger, ancient rhythm of the cosmos. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep hum of primeval contentment, a truly endless, tranquil flow of existence under the ancient moonlight. The deep stillness was broken only by the soft, rhythmic whispers of sleeping life. Chapter 6. The Moon's Westerly Drift. The moon, having reached its zenith, now began its imperceptible drift westward. It was a slow, majestic procession across the vast, star-dusted dome of the sky. Its silver light continued to pour down, an unwavering, constant luminosity. Every undulation of the land, every ancient boulder, was softly illuminated. The long, slender shadows cast by the cave's opening slowly began to lengthen. They stretched themselves further across the cold, duskiest ground outside. The air remained intensely cold, carrying the sharp, clean scent of the deepest night. The faint, rhythmic sounds of unseen nocturnal life continued their gentle hum. They were a persistent, soothing backdrop to the profound stillness that prevailed. The sleeping figures, nestled in their simple, protective coverings, remained undisturbed. Their breathing was a soft, steady rhythm, a testament to their deep, peaceful slumber. The fire, now a core of intensely glowing embers, held its warmth within. It was a small, persistent heart of heat, battling the encompassing chill. Tiny tendrils of smoke, barely visible, curled upwards and vanished into the moonlit air. The scent of charred wood and ancient earth was a grounding, comforting aroma. The western horizon, once the fiery farewell point of the sun, was now a dark, distant line. It awaited the moon's eventual descent, a cycle of cosmic regularity. The countless stars, while still glimmering, seemed to offer less of their individual sparkle. Their collective brilliance was softened by the overwhelming glow of the dominant moon. The celestial sphere turned, carrying with it the entire familiar world, a silent, ceaseless journey through the boundless, dark expanse of the cosmos. The contours of the nearby hills appeared almost softened, ethereal in the lunar light. They were like ancient giants, sleeping deeply under a shimmering silver blanket. The world, under this particular muted illumination, felt transformed into a realm of quiet dreams. It was a place where time itself seemed to stretch endlessly, without urgent markers. The sensation of individual minutes or hours had entirely dissolved into nothingness. Time was an ancient river, flowing without beginning or discernible end. The cold dew on the sparse vegetation had grown visibly heavier, glistening like scattered jewels. Each tiny droplet captured the moon's serene light, reflecting it back with subdued brilliance. The intensified cold, clean scent of the night was a powerful, invigorating presence. It cleansed the air, making each slow, deep breath a profound moment of stillness. The moon's unwavering vigil continued, a cosmic promise of recurring light and life. It had overseen countless eons, witnessed innumerable lives under its silent, knowing gaze. Its pervasive light penetrated even the deepest, most hidden crevices of the landscape. It touched every ancient stone, every gnarled root, with its gentle, persistent embrace. The deep, rhythmic quietude of the Stone Age night was an ultimate sanctuary. It was a place where profound peace settled upon the land, inviting deeper slumber. Each sleeping breath of the gathered few was a gentle ripple in the vast, calm ocean of night. The dreams that floated through their ancient minds were perhaps vast and untamed. They held echoes of successful hunts, of joyous communal gatherings, of cherished stories. The moon, a silent, celestial artist, continued to paint the world below in shades of silver and profound shadow. It meticulously transformed the familiar and ordinary into something deeply mystical and exquisitely beautiful. The long, slow hours of the night passed with an almost imperceptible, profound grace. Each singular moment was a quiet breath within the larger, ancient rhythm of the turning cosmos. The very air seemed to hum with a low, deep, inaudible frequency of primal contentment, an almost endless, tranquil flow of pure existence under the ancient, watchful moonlight. The profound stillness of the vast landscape was broken only by the softest, most rhythmic whispers of sleeping life. Chapter 7. The Apex of Night's Stillness. The moon now hung directly opposite where the sun would eventually rise. It marked the very deepest point of the night, a time of ultimate quietude. Its light was at its most pervasive, a complete and uniform silver wash over everything. The subtle contours of the earth were softened, rendered gentle by the diffused glow. No harsh shadows remained, only elongated, ethereal forms stretching across the ground. The air was at its absolute coldest, carrying a profound, still chill that seeped into bones. Warmth still stubbornly held its ground. The distant sounds of the nocturnal world had quieted even further, almost to silence. Only the most subtle, almost imperceptible rustlings broke the deep, profound stillness. The sleeping figures remained in their profound slumber, unmoving, deeply at peace. Their steady breathing was a testament to the night's safety. A lullaby of the Stone Age. The embers of the fire pulsed with an unwavering, consistent, deep orange glow. They were a concentrated core of warmth, silently battling the pervasive cold outside. The last faint wisps of smoke had long vanished into the clear, moonlit air above. The elemental scents of earth, cold stone, and sleeping vegetation now dominated. They were profoundly grounding aromas, deeply connected to the very essence of existence. The horizons, both east and west, were completely lost in the vast, undifferentiated night sky. There was no longer any clear line separating the terrestrial from the celestial. The countless stars, while visible, had receded entirely into the moon's overwhelming brilliance. Their individual light was diminished, absorbed by the singular, powerful lunar glow. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent turning, carrying all upon it, a journey through the limitless, dark, and utterly silent expanse of the universe. The forms of the distant hills were now merely suggestions, shrouded in luminous, silver mist. They were vast, silent shapes, dreaming deeply under the moon's unwavering gaze. The world, under this specific, all-encompassing moonlight, felt truly suspended. It was a place removed from the passage of time, existing in an eternal present. The very concept of time, as measured by humans, had fully dissolved into irrelevance. It was only the moon's impossibly slow, deliberate journey across the vast sky, a majestic, patient progression that would end only with the faint whisper of dawn. The heavy dew had settled deeply, coating every surface with a shimmering layer. Each droplet was a tiny, perfect mirror, reflecting the moon's serene, cool light. The crisp, penetrating scent of the deepest night was an almost tangible presence. It filled the lungs with coolness, inviting an even more profound, restorative sleep. The moon's silent, unblinking vigil was a cosmic promise of enduring cycles. It had patiently overseen countless nights, witnessed myriad lives come and go. Its pervasive light touched the oldest stones, the newest sprouts, with impartiality. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was an immense, boundless sanctuary, a sacred space where perfect peace settled upon the land and its ancient inhabitants. Each slow, measured breath of the sleeping forms was a gentle ripple in the vast, calm ocean of night. The dreams that unfolded within their ancient minds were perhaps vast and boundless. They might hold echoes of the ancestors, of powerful spirits, of the earth's deep wisdom. The moon, a silent, cosmic artist, continued to meticulously paint the world below. It used vast strokes of silver light and deep, formless shadow, a masterpiece of night. It effortlessly transformed the familiar and the ordinary into something truly mystical. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night passed with silent grace. Each singular moment was an ancient breath within the larger, eternal rhythm of the cosmos. The very air itself seemed to resonate with a low, deep, inaudible hum of primeval contentment, an almost endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence under the ancient moonlight. The profound, encompassing stillness was broken only by the softest, most rhythmic whispers of sleeping life. Chapter 8: The First Hint of Dawn's Return. The moon had begun its gentle, gradual descent towards the western horizon. Its radiant arc was now lower in the sky, a subtle shift in its nightly journey. The intense silver light, while still powerful, began to soften almost imperceptibly. A very faint, almost hesitant lightning appeared on the eastern horizon now. It was a barely discernible whisper against the deep, unending canvas of night. The air remained intensely cold, carrying the stillness of the pre-dawn hours. The nocturnal sounds, which had quieted to near silence, continued their soft presence. A low, distant cry of an early awakening bird, perhaps a sign of what was to come. The sleeping figures remained in their deep slumber, undisturbed by the subtle changes. Their breathing was a consistent, reassuring rhythm, a harmony with the vast night. The embers of the fire had diminished further, glowing with a more subdued intensity. They were now a small, persistent warmth, a last beacon before the sun's return. No smoke rose, only the faint, comforting scent of cooled ash and damp earth. The eastern horizon, once a black void, now held the promise of an unseen light. It was a subtle lightening of the deepest blue, hinting at the sun's imminent return. The countless stars, still visible, began their slow, inevitable fade from view. Their individual lights were slowly, gently overwhelmed by the encroaching dawn. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent turning without pause, a constant, ancient motion that governed all life, all cycles on the earth. The forms of the distant hills were still indistinct, veiled in the soft, fading moonlight. They were vast, silent shapes, patiently awaiting the return of the sun's clear light. The world, under this particular transitional illumination, felt suspended between states. It was a bridge between the profound slumber of night and the awakening of a new day. The concept of time began to regain its relevance as the cycle moved towards completion. The moon's slow, deliberate journey was nearing its temporary end for this night. The heavy dew on every surface had reached its peak, glistening like countless tiny jewels. Each drop captured the last soft rays of the moon, reflecting them with a subdued sparkle. The crisp, cool scent of the receding night lingered, soon to be replaced by day's warmth. It was a final, deep breath before the world awakened to its daily routines once more. The moon's long, silent vigil was drawing to a close, its duty fulfilled for another night. It had shone patiently, guiding, comforting, overseeing the deep slumber of the ancient world. Its light now held a quality of gentle farewell, a soft fading into the coming brightness. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was slowly, gently beginning to recede. Each sleeping breath was a final, peaceful ripple in the vast, calm ocean of night. The dreams that unfolded within their ancient minds would soon give way to waking thoughts. Images of the day's tasks, of the hunt, of the gathering, slowly emerging into consciousness. The moon, a silent, cosmic artist, was subtly shifting its palette, preparing for its departure. It softened its silver light, allowing the first hints of rose and gold to appear in the east. It effortlessly transformed the mystical night into the promise of a bright, new beginning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had passed with silent grace. Each singular moment was an ancient breath, part of the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. The very air seemed to hum with a low, deep, inaudible frequency of impending awakening. An almost endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence under the ancient, fading moonlight. The profound, encompassing stillness was broken only by the softest, most rhythmic whispers of sleeping life, soon to stir. Chapter 9: The Slow Withdrawal of Moonlight. The moon, now noticeably lower in the western sky, began its patient withdrawal. Its once brilliant silver light was subtly softening, losing some of its earlier intensity. A very faint, almost ethereal grayness was now creeping into the eastern sky. It was a barely perceptible shift, a quiet whisper of the coming new day. The air remained intensely cold, holding the deepest chill of the dying night. The few lingering nocturnal sounds grew even more subdued, almost inaudible. The world itself seemed to hold its breath, caught in the profound stillness of pre-dawn. The sleeping figures remained deeply enfolded in their slumber, oblivious to the change. Their breathing continued its even, rhythmic cadence, a steady, peaceful harmony. The fire, now a mere collection of faint, pulsing embers, offered its last, gentle warmth. It was a tiny, resilient heartbeat of light against the encroaching vastness of the dark. The subtle scent of cold ash and damp earth was the only aroma left in the crisp air. The eastern horizon, once an indistinguishable void, now hinted at a veiled lightness. It was a soft, almost shy glow, promising the return of the sun's fiery presence. The countless stars, though still visible, were unmistakably beginning to dim. Their individual points of light surrendered gradually to the encroaching light of dawn. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent turning, an eternal cosmic dance, a constant, ancient motion that dictated the ebb and flow of all earthly existence. The forms of the distant hills were still indistinct, veiled in a fading silver luminescence. They were vast, quiet sentinels, patiently awaiting the return of the sun's clear, bright light. The world, bathed in this transitional, fading light, felt suspended between two realms. It was a delicate bridge connecting the deep, profound slumber of night to the awakening of a new day. The very concept of time, once fluid in the moon's reign, began to regain its specific markers. The moon's long, silent journey was slowly but surely nearing its temporary culmination. The heavy dew on every blade of grass and every ancient leaf now glistened intensely. Each tiny droplet shimmered like a miniature pearl, reflecting the moon's fading, soft light. The crisp, penetrating scent of the receding night lingered, soon to be gently replaced. It would yield to the warm, fresh aromas of the newly awakening day, a gentle exchange. The moon's long, unwavering vigil was drawing gracefully to its peaceful, natural close. It had shown patiently, a faithful guide, comforting and overseeing the deep sleep of the ancient world. Its light now held the quality of gentle farewell, a soft, ethereal fading into the coming brightness. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was subtly, incrementally beginning its retreat. Each lingering, sleeping breath was a final, peaceful ripple in the vast, calm ocean of night. The dreams that still unfolded within their ancient minds would soon give way to waking thoughts. Images of the day's practical tasks, of the next hunt, of the gathering, gently emerged. The moon, a silent, cosmic artist, was subtly shifting its celestial palette one last time. It softened its silver light, allowing the first tentative hints of rose and gold to appear in the far east. It effortlessly transformed the mystical and dreamlike night into the clear promise of a bright, new beginning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had gracefully passed. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to hum with a low, deep, inaudible frequency of impending, gentle awakening. An almost endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence under the ancient, fading moonlight. The profound, encompassing stillness was broken only by the softest, most rhythmic whispers of sleeping life, soon to gently stir. Chapter 10. The pale light of pre-dawn. The eastern horizon now held a more discernible, though still very subtle, lightness. It was a soft, almost pearlescent glow, a promise of the sun, still hidden from view. The moon, a pale ghost now, continued its slow descent towards the western edge. Its light, though diminished, still lent an ethereal quality to the slumbering world. The air remained profoundly cold, the deepest chill of the earth before the sun's warmth. A few more birds, earlier than most, uttered hesitant, sleepy chirps from the distant trees. The silence, though vast, was no longer absolute, but held faint murmurs of awakening life. The sleeping figures showed no sign of stirring, lost in the deepest phases of their rest. Their collective breathing was a steady, almost monotonous hum, a symphony of slumber. The fire, now just a few truly deep red embers, gave off only the faintest wisp of heat. It was a dying ember of the night, yielding its dominion to the approaching light. The crisp scent of damp earth and the lingering memory of wood smoke filled the nostrils. The eastern sky began to transform from the deepest blue to a pale, watery gray. It was a canvas slowly being prepared for the vibrant colors of the coming sunrise. The prominent stars, the brightest among them, still bravely held their sparkling positions. But even they would soon surrender their brilliance to the overwhelming light of day. The celestial sphere continued its majestic, silent rotation, an unceasing, ancient motion. It was the grand choreographer of light and shadow, night and day, life and death. The forms of the distant hills began to gain a hint of their former solid outlines. They were slowly re-emerging from the soft, moonlit veil, regaining their ancient identity. The world, in this early, ambiguous light, felt like a painting slowly coming into focus. It was a gradual reveal, a patient unveiling of familiar shapes and contours. The very concept of time now explicitly pointed towards the approaching morning. The moon's journey across the sky was nearing its completion, for this cycle at least. The heavy dew on every surface seemed to thicken, forming a delicate, shimmering frost. Each tiny crystal caught the minimal light, creating a sparkling, transient beauty. The cold, clean, and invigorating scent of the dawn filled the air with its freshness. It was an olfactory herald of renewal, of new opportunities, of another day begun. The moon, a faithful guardian, was gracefully preparing for its long daytime rest. It had offered its steady light, its silent comfort, its ethereal beauty through the night. Its fading glow was a gentle, almost wistful farewell to the profound darkness. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was steadily, irrevocably lifting. Each deep, final sleeping breath was a tranquil ripple, soon to transform into waking energy. The last of the night's ancient dreams slowly faded from the minds of the sleepers. They were replaced by the nascent thoughts of the day's tasks, the demands of survival. The moon, a cosmic master of transition, softened its light to welcome the sun. It allowed the eastern sky to begin its quiet blush of rose and the faintest touch of gold. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness to the clear promise of morning. The long, slow, and deeply quiet hours of the night had truly reached their conclusion. Each moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep, almost audible hum of imminent awakening, an endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure existence, gently shifting from night to dawn. The profound, encompassing stillness was now broken by the soft, almost imperceptible whispers of stirring life. Chapter 11. The Softening of the East. The eastern sky continued its subtle, yet undeniable, lightening and softening. It was a delicate canvas of pale grays, blending seamlessly into muted blues. The moon, a mere silver crescent, sank further towards the western rim of the earth. Its diminishing light clung to the landscape, a last, lingering, ghostly presence. The air remained intensely cold, carrying the stillness and crispness of pre-dawn. A chorus of early birds began to tentatively awaken, their chirps still soft and sleepy. The quietude of the night, while still vast, was now punctuated by these gentle sounds. The sleeping figures began to stir, imperceptibly at first, a shifting of weight. Their rhythmic breathing slowly started to deepen, a preparation for awakening. The fire, now just a few scattered, dim red embers, offered minimal warmth. It was a final, humble offering to the departing darkness, almost entirely spent. The faint, earthy scent of damp soil and the lingering coolness of the air pervaded. The eastern horizon, now clearly showed a band of lighter, clearer sky. It was a tangible promise, an undeniable harbinger of the approaching sun. The last, bright, persistent stars still held their ground, refusing to completely fade. But their brilliant points of light were steadily losing the battle to the encroaching dawn. The celestial sphere continued its unyielding, silent rotation, an eternal turning. It pulled the world inexorably towards the sun's renewed, vital embrace. The solid forms of the distant hills were slowly regaining their stark definition. They emerged from the moonlit veil, their ancient outlines becoming clearer. The world, in this gentle, evolving light, felt like a dream slowly dissolving. It was a gradual return to familiar reality, a slow, gentle reawakening. The concept of time now distinctly heralded the soon-to-be present day. The moon's nightly journey was all but complete, its silent watch nearly done. The heavy dew on every surface had reached its peak saturation, shimmering profoundly. Each tiny, perfect droplet caught the faint light, a jewel in the fading darkness. The cold, fresh, and invigorating scent of the nascent dawn grew stronger. It was a clear, vital signal, preparing all life for the day's renewed activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, prepared for its long, ethereal rest. It had illuminated countless nights, overseen countless slumbers with ancient patience. Its fading glow was a soft, almost wistful goodbye to the profound night. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was steadily, gracefully receding. Each deep, final sleeping breath transformed into a deeper, waking inhalation. The last of the night's vast, ancient dreams softly vanished from their minds. They were replaced by the practical, immediate thoughts of the coming day's demands. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, softened its light to welcome the new sun. It allowed the eastern sky to fully embrace the first delicate blush of rose and nascent gold. It effortlessly guided the world from its mystical darkness into the clear, bright promise of morning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had reached their peaceful end. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to hum with a low, deep, almost audible frequency of a calm awakening, an endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, gently shifting from night to dawn. The profound, encompassing stillness was now gently broken by the soft, rhythmic whispers of fully stirring life. Chapter 12. The Horizon's First Blush. A true blush of color now appeared on the eastern horizon, soft yet undeniable. It was a delicate wash of palest pink, mingling with the deepening, watery gray. The moon, a mere sliver of light, barely clung to the low western sky. Its remaining illumination was faint, a whisper against the growing light. The air remained intensely cold, holding the last vestiges of night's profound chill. The chorus of early birds grew slightly louder, their chirps more insistent. The silence was now truly a memory, replaced by the subtle stirrings of the world. The sleeping figures began to shift more noticeably, stretching in their slumber. Their rhythmic breathing deepened further, signaling a nearing, gentle awakening. The fire, now almost completely spent, contained only the faintest glow of embers. It was a last, expiring breath of warmth from the long, dark night. The crisp, earthy scent of damp soil became more prominent, fresh and invigorating. The eastern sky blossomed slowly, adding hints of peach and subtle violet. It was a slow, majestic reveal of the sun's imminent, powerful emergence. The once bright stars were now almost entirely gone, absorbed by the growing luminosity. Their countless points of light had yielded their reign to the approaching day. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, always turning. It pulled the world inexorably towards the full, vibrant embrace of the sun. The forms of the distant hills were now clearer, their ancient shapes defined. They stood solid against the dawning sky, no longer veiled by night's illusion. The world, in this vibrant, unfolding light, felt like a canvas being painted. It was a deliberate, slow creation of familiar colors and comforting forms. The concept of time now vibrated with the urgency of the approaching sunrise. The moon's nightly journey was completed, its silent, ancient watch now done. The heavy dew on every surface seemed to thicken, each droplet a tiny prism. They caught the delicate colors of dawn, reflecting them in miniature brilliance. The cold, fresh, and deeply invigorating scent of the dawn filled the air completely. It was a powerful, undeniable herald of renewal, of a new beginning, of life. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, had completed its ethereal rest. It had offered its steady light, its comforting presence through the long night. Its fading glow was a tender, final goodbye to the profound darkness. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was now definitively lifting. Each deep, final sleeping breath transformed fully into a waking, vital inhalation. The last of the night's vast, ancient dreams fully vanished from their minds. They were replaced by the compelling, practical thoughts of the day's demands. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, softened its light to usher in the new sun. It allowed the eastern sky to fully embrace the vibrant blush of rose and burgeoning gold. It effortlessly guided the world from its mystical darkness into the clear, bright promise of morning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had truly reached their conclusion. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep, almost audible hum of full awakening. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, gently shifting from night to glorious dawn. The profound, encompassing stillness was now gently broken by the robust, rhythmic whispers of fully stirring life. Chapter 13: The Edges of Light. The eastern horizon now clearly defined the coming boundary of the sun. It was a bright, shimmering line where day prepared to meet the receding night. The moon, a sliver of pearl, was now barely visible, just above the western trees. Its light was a memory, a faint shimmer on the distant, dark landscape. The air remained crisp and cool, but a subtle hint of warmth was beginning to mingle. The chorus of birds grew stronger, their individual calls clearer and more varied. The quietude of the night was dissolving into the rustlings and stirrings of early morning. The sleeping figures began to rouse, stretching slowly, limbs uncoiling from rest. Their breathing quickened slightly, signaling the body's readiness for the day. The fire, now little more than cold ash, released a final, almost imperceptible warmth. It was a dying ember, its work done, waiting for the first rays of the sun. The fresh, invigorating scent of damp soil and awakening plants filled the air. The eastern sky burned with a rich palette of deep oranges and soft purples. It was a majestic prelude to the sun's grand, inevitable appearance above the line. Only the very brightest planets, true celestial beacons, still clung to the sky. But even they were dimming rapidly, surrendering to the overwhelming light. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, unhurried, constant. It ushered in the full, vibrant energy of the sun's undeniable, daily rebirth. The forms of the distant hills were now sharply defined, their ancient structures clear. They stood as timeless witnesses to the cyclical drama of day and night. The world, in this vibrant, burgeoning light, felt alive with anticipation and promise. It was a realm of renewal, of fresh starts, of primal, enduring purpose. The concept of time was now fully aligned with the imminent arrival of the sun. The moon's watch was truly over, its silent, ancient duty completely fulfilled. The heavy dew on every surface began to evaporate, rising as a faint morning mist. Each tiny droplet returned to the air, preparing for the day's warmth and dryness. The crisp, cool, and deeply invigorating scent of the dawn was now pervasive. It awakened the senses, preparing all life for the day's renewed efforts. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, had completed its long, ethereal rest. It had cast its gentle light, offered its peaceful presence through the hours of darkness. Its fading glow was a tender, final goodbye, a slow retreat from the growing light. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was fully, unmistakably lifting. Each deep, final, sleeping breath transformed into a clear, strong, waking inhalation. The last of the night's vast ancient dreams had entirely vanished from their minds. They were replaced by the clear, compelling, practical thoughts of the day's tasks. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had seamlessly ushered in the new sun's light. It allowed the eastern sky to fully embrace the vibrant, burgeoning colors of dawn. It effortlessly guided the world from its mystical darkness into the clear, bright, full promise of morning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully reached their peaceful, natural conclusion. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete awakening. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, gently shifting from night to glorious, vibrant dawn. The profound, encompassing stillness was now fully broken by the robust, rhythmic whispers of fully active, stirring life. Chapter 14. The Sky's Awakening Palette. The eastern sky was now a breathtaking panorama of unfolding color and light. Deep oranges bled into fiery reds, softened by streaks of nascent yellow. The moon was completely gone, having dipped below the western horizon, unseen. Its quiet departure marked the undeniable end of its nightly dominion over the world. The air, though still cool, carried the distinct promise of the sun's warming presence. The full chorus of birds had burst forth, their calls joyous and clear in the morning air. The quietude of the night was replaced by the vibrant symphony of a new, waking day. The figures, fully roused now, began their slow, deliberate preparations for the day's tasks. Their movements were unhurried, reflecting the deep-seated rhythm of their existence. The fire pit, now a silent collection of ash, stood as a testament to the night's warmth. It was a cooled hearth, awaiting the rekindling for the morning's first meal. The invigorating scent of damp earth, fresh vegetation, and cool morning air filled the senses. The eastern sky blazed with an intensity that promised the imminent appearance of the sun. It was a majestic, breathtaking spectacle, a daily miracle for the ancient world. All stars and planets had entirely vanished, completely absorbed by the overwhelming light. The celestial tapestry was now hidden, awaiting the return of the next night's darkness. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, an unceasing, ancient motion. It presented the world to the full, life-giving energy of the sun's undeniable rebirth. The forms of the distant hills were now sharply defined, etched against the blazing sky. They stood as stoic, ancient witnesses to the enduring cycle of light and shadow. The world, in this full, vibrant, and awakening light, felt charged with renewed energy. It was a realm of purpose, of action, of the continuous, primal struggle for survival. The concept of time was now fully defined by the relentless progress of the new day. The moon's watch was concluded, its silent, ancient duty completely and fully discharged. The heavy dew on every surface slowly began its steady, visible evaporation. Each tiny droplet rose as a delicate mist, returning its moisture to the morning air. The crisp, cool, and deeply invigorating scent of the full dawn was now all-encompassing. It awakened every sense, preparing all life for the strenuous, vital activities of the day. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had cast its gentle light, offered its peaceful presence through the long, dark hours. Its fading glow had been a tender, final goodbye, a slow, gracious retreat. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was now completely, irrevocably gone. Each deep, final, sleeping breath had transformed into a clear, strong, purposeful inhalation. The last of the night's vast, ancient dreams had entirely vanished from their minds. They were replaced by the clear, compelling, practical, and immediate thoughts of the day's tasks. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had seamlessly ushered in the new sun's glorious light. It allowed the eastern sky to fully embrace the vibrant, burgeoning colors of the full dawn. It effortlessly guided the world from its mystical darkness into the clear, bright, full promise of morning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully reached their peaceful, natural conclusion. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete and total awakening. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, gently shifting from night to glorious, vibrant, purposeful dawn. The profound, encompassing stillness was now fully broken by the robust, rhythmic whispers of fully active, stirring, purposeful life. Chapter 15. The sun's first appearance. A brilliant, blinding sliver of the sun's fiery disk now appeared on the eastern edge. It was a sudden, awe-inspiring burst of golden-orange light piercing the horizon. The world paused momentarily, as if in silent reverence to the primal force. The air, crisp moments before, began to warm almost instantly with palpable energy. The full chorus of birds swelled into a joyous, triumphant symphony of sound. The last vestiges of night's stillness were obliterated by the day's vibrant roar. The figures, fully awake now, instinctively turned their faces towards the rising sun. Their expressions were not of surprise, but of ancient recognition and profound respect. The fire pit, a collection of cold ash, was now forgotten, awaiting the sun's warmth. It was a reminder of the night, now yielding to the greater power of the day. The fresh, invigorating scent of damp earth and verdant growth intensified greatly. The eastern sky exploded in a riot of brilliant, life-giving colors, truly breathtaking. It was the full, majestic arrival of the sun, a daily miracle made manifest. All celestial bodies had entirely vanished, completely absorbed by the sun's overwhelming light. The vast cosmic tapestry was hidden by the sun's dominance, awaiting the next night's return. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, an unceasing, ancient dance. It brought the full, vibrant, and utterly essential energy of the sun's complete rebirth. The forms of the distant hills were now sharply outlined, etched in golden light. They stood as majestic, timeless witnesses to the grand, cyclical drama of existence. The world, fully illuminated by the sun's clear, vibrant light, felt completely alive. It was a realm of purpose, of action, of the continuous, primal struggle for survival. The concept of time was now entirely defined by the relentless, forward march of the new day. The moon's watch was concluded, its silent, ancient duty fully and completely discharged. The heavy dew on every surface rapidly evaporated, rising as shimmering, ethereal mist. Each tiny droplet returned to the atmosphere, preparing the air for the day's dry heat. The warm, invigorating scent of the full morning sun was now universally pervasive. It awakened every fiber of being, preparing all life for the arduous, vital activities of the day. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden far from view. It had cast its gentle light, offered its peaceful presence through the long, dark, quiet hours. Its fading glow had been a tender, final goodbye, a slow, gracious, complete retreat. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was now utterly and irrevocably gone. Each deep, final, sleeping breath had transformed into a clear, strong, purposeful, waking inhalation. The last of the night's vast, ancient dreams had completely vanished from their minds. They were replaced by the clear, compelling, practical, and immediate thoughts of the day's demanding tasks. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had seamlessly ushered in the new sun's glorious, full light. It allowed the eastern sky to fully embrace the vibrant, burgeoning, overwhelming colors of the full dawn. It effortlessly guided the world from its mystical darkness into the clear, bright, full, and vibrant promise of morning. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully reached their peaceful, natural, inevitable conclusion. Each singular moment was an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal, unceasing, cosmic rhythm. The very air seemed to vibrate with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete and total, purposeful awakening. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence. Now fully shifted from night to glorious, vibrant, purposeful day. The profound, encompassing stillness was now fully broken by the robust, rhythmic whispers and shouts of fully active, stirring, purposeful, and demanding life. Chapter 16. The Day's Full Embrace. The sun, now entirely above the horizon, radiated its full, life-giving power. Its golden light enveloped the entire landscape, banishing all lingering shadows. The warmth quickly permeated the air, chasing away the last vestiges of night's chill. The chorus of birds sang with unrestrained joy, a testament to the new day's vitality. The world pulsed with energy, a vibrant tapestry of sounds, sights, and scents. The figures, fully awakened and invigorated, began to move with purpose and direction. They prepared their tools, their provisions, for the day's necessary endeavors. The fire pit, now cold and lifeless, would soon be rekindled for the morning meal. It served as a silent reminder of the cyclical nature of their ancient lives. The rich, earthy scent of warm soil and thriving vegetation filled the morning air. The sky was a clear, boundless expanse of brilliant, cloudless blue overhead. It was a vast, open invitation to the day's limitless possibilities and challenges. All traces of the night's celestial bodies were utterly gone, awaiting evening. The sun reigned supreme, an undisputed monarch of the vast, endless sky. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, unceasingly turning. It now presented the world to the full, overwhelming, and essential energy of the sun. The forms of the distant hills stood sharply defined, bathed in golden, vital light. They were solid, enduring landmarks in a world filled with constant movement, the world, vibrant and alive under the sun's clear gaze, felt charged with renewed strength. It was a realm of practicalities, of urgent tasks, of the continuous, primal struggle. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's steady, upward climb in the sky. The moon, unseen and resting, awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The heavy dew had entirely evaporated, leaving the earth dry and ready for footfalls. The air was clear, dry, and filled with the invigorating warmth of the morning sun. The warm, inviting scent of the full morning was universally pervasive and comforting. It stimulated every sense, preparing all life for the strenuous, vital activities ahead. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmos. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely and utterly replaced. It gave way to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 17. The Morning's Routine. The sun continued its steady climb, ascending higher into the clear blue sky. Its golden rays now slanted across the landscape, illuminating every detail. The warmth deepened, inviting activity, encouraging movement from all creatures. The sounds of the Stone Age encampment grew louder, more distinct, purposeful. The crackle of newly lit fires, the murmur of voices, the movements of tools. The figures were now fully engaged in the rituals of a new, dawning day. They moved with an instinctive grace, a practiced efficiency born of generations. The morning fires were quickly coaxed to life, their smoke rising in thick plumes. They offered instant warmth, a focal point for the early morning preparations. The fresh, invigorating scent of new smoke mingled with damp earth and cooking meat. The sky was an unbroken expanse of brilliant, inviting azure above their heads. It was a vast, silent witness to the daily struggles and triumphs of humanity. The moon and stars were entirely absent, hidden completely by the sun's dominion. The sun reigned supreme, its light a tangible, life-giving force on the earth. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent turning, never pausing. It presented the world to the full, overwhelming, and essential energy of the sun. The forms of the distant hills were now fully revealed, sharp and clear. They stood as timeless, silent guardians, observing the daily unfolding of life. The world, vibrant and alive under the sun's clear gaze, bustled with activity. It was a realm of immediate needs, of survival's demands, of constant effort. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's steady, unhurried progress. The last traces of dew had entirely evaporated, leaving the ground dry and firm. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the invigorating scent of morning sun. The warm, inviting aroma of the full morning was universally pervasive. It stimulated every sense, preparing all life for the arduous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmos. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was now completely replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 18. The day's warmth spreads. The sun reached higher, its warmth penetrating deeper into the landscape. Its golden rays now held a strength that promised a long, bright day ahead, shedding the last remnants of the night's persistent chill. The sounds of the encampment continued, a symphony of activity and purpose. The scraping of tools, the rustle of preparing hides, the laughter of children. The figures were fully immersed in the daily rhythm of their ancient existence. They moved with an innate understanding of their roles, a timeless coordination. The morning fires burned steadily, providing warmth for cooking and comfort. Their smoke rose, a visible sign of human presence against the vast blue sky. The rich, earthy scent of warm soil and the aroma of cooking food mingled gently. The sky above was an unbroken expanse of brilliant, inviting azure, stretching endlessly. It was a silent, grand stage for the unfolding drama of each new, vibrant day. The moon and stars were utterly invisible, completely obscured by the sun's dominion. The sun reigned supreme, its light an undisputed source of energy and life. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation unceasingly. It tirelessly presented the world to the full, overwhelming energy of the sun. The forms of the distant hills were now fully revealed, sharp against the clear sky. They stood as silent, enduring guardians, witnessing the daily unfolding of life. The world, vibrant and alive, under the sun's clear gaze, pulsed with constant motion. It was a realm of immediate needs, of survival's demands, of ceaseless effort. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's steady, unhurried progression. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The last traces of dew had entirely evaporated, leaving the ground dry and firm. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the invigorating scent of the warming sun. The pervasive aroma of the full morning was universally comforting and familiar. It stimulated every sense, preparing all life for the strenuous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 19: Mid-Morning's Steady Rhythm. The sun had climbed steadily, approaching the highest point in the vast sky. Its golden light now shone directly overhead, casting short, distinct shadows. The warmth was pervasive, a comfortable embrace, settling deeply upon the land. The sounds of the encampment had reached a steady, productive rhythm. The rhythmic, dull thud of a stone being flaked, the soft scrape of a hide being worked, the murmurs of conversation, children's playful shouts, all blended harmoniously. The figures were deeply engrossed in their various tasks, moving with ancient purpose. Each action was deliberate. The morning fires continued to burn, providing heat for various vital processes. Their smoke rose steadily, a comforting plume against the brilliant blue sky. The air was filled with the scents of sun-warmed earth, dried grasses, and animal hides. The The sky above was an unbroken, dazzling expanse of brilliant, cloudless azure. It was a vast, silent dome, overseeing the timeless activities of human survival. The moon and stars remained entirely absent, completely hidden by the sun's dominance. The sun reigned supreme, its light an omnipresent, life-sustaining force. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation unceasingly. It presented the world to the full, overwhelming, and essential energy of the sun. The forms of the distant hills were now stark and clear, solid against the bright sky. They stood as silent, ancient guardians, unwavering in their timeless vigil. The world, vibrant and alive under the sun's clear gaze, hummed with constant energy. It was a realm of sustained effort, of meticulous craft, of communal endeavor. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's slow, unwavering progress. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground was dry and warm beneath their feet, absorbing the sun's steady heat. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the invigorating scent of the strong sun. The pervasive aroma of the mid-morning was universally comforting and familiar. It infused every sense, fueling all life for the arduous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 20. The Sun's High Dominion. The sun reached its zenith directly overhead, casting minimal, short shadows. Its powerful, golden light streamed straight down, illuminating every detail below. The warmth was at its peak, a comfortable, all-encompassing embrace across the land. The sounds of the Stone Age community were a steady, consistent hum of life. The rhythmic chipping of flint, the soft swish of grasses gathered, the distant bark of a dog, the sustained murmur of communal effort, a timeless symphony of cooperation. The figures worked with practiced ease, their movements efficient, almost instinctual. Each task was a continuation of ancient knowledge, passed through generations. The fires, used for cooking and tool-making, burned with a steady, intense heat. Their smoke rose directly upwards, dissolving into the vast, bright blue sky. The air was thick with the rich scents of warm earth, drying materials, and human endeavor. The The sky above was a boundless, deep azure, utterly cloudless and intensely bright. It was a vast, silent, indifferent witness to the unending daily struggle for life. The moon and stars remained completely absent, entirely consumed by the sun's glory. The sun reigned supreme, its light the singular, overwhelming source of all energy. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, never pausing. It tirelessly presented the world to the full, overwhelming, and essential energy of the sun. The forms of the distant hills stood sharply defined, almost two-dimensional against the light. They were solid, enduring landmarks in a world where everything else was in motion. The world, vibrant and alive under the sun's direct gaze, felt intensely purposeful. It was a realm of sustained effort, of meticulous craft, of the collective will to survive. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's unwavering position directly above. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground was dry and deeply warm beneath their feet, absorbing the sun's full heat. The air was hot, clear, and filled with the invigorating scent of the powerful sun. The pervasive aroma of midday was universally comforting and deeply familiar. It infused every sense, fueling all life for the arduous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 21. The Slow Descent of Day. The sun began its slow, almost imperceptible descent from its highest point. Its golden light, while still strong, started to lengthen the shadows once more. The peak of the day's warmth began to soften, a subtle easing of its intensity. The sounds of the encampment, though still active, subtly shifted their tone. The urgency of morning tasks began to give way to more sustained, steady efforts. The figures continued their work, each movement imbued with ancient purpose. They prepared for the eventual cooling, for the approaching shift in light. The fires, continuously tended, maintained their steady heat, essential for daily life. Their smoke drifted lazily, spreading its familiar scent across the immediate area. The air remained warm, filled with the mingled aromas of earth, wood, and exertion. The sky above was still a brilliant, unblemished blue, vast, and expansive. It remained a silent, constant witness to the enduring rhythm of their existence. The moon and stars remained completely absent, awaiting their return later. The sun, though past its zenith, still held absolute dominion over the land. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, unceasingly. It slowly moved the world towards the less direct, less intense light of late afternoon. The forms of the distant hills were now subtly changing, gaining depth in the lengthening shadows. They stood as timeless, watchful sentinels, reflecting the sun's gradual shift. The world, vibrant and alive under the sun's strong gaze, maintained its productive hum. It was a realm of ongoing effort, of sustained activity, of continuous communal striving. The concept of time was now explicitly measured by the sun's gradual western drift. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground remained dry and warm, steadily radiating the day's accumulated heat. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the rich scents of the sun-drenched landscape. The pervasive aroma of the afternoon was universally comforting and familiar. It infused every sense, sustaining all life for the arduous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 22. Afternoon's prolonged haze. The sun continued its unhurried descent. Moving further towards the west, its golden light began to soften, spreading a warmer, more diffused glow. The intense heat of midday slowly receded, yielding to a comfortable, lingering warmth. The sounds of the encampment maintained a steady, purposeful hum of activity. The distant shouts of hunters, the rhythmic grinding of grain, the contented hum of women. The figures were now ingrained in the long stretch of the afternoon's work. They moved with an enduring patience, accustomed to the slow passage of time. The fires, though still burning, required less intense tending, their heat established. Their smoke curled slowly, merging with the hazy air of the late afternoon. The air was thick with the scents of sun-baked earth, drying materials, and human toil. The sky above remained a brilliant, expansive blue, though subtly less intense. It was a vast, timeless dome, overseeing the ongoing labor of the ancient community. The moon and stars remained completely absent, hidden by the enduring sun. The sun, though slowly lowering, still held its absolute, undeniable dominion. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, unceasingly. It moved the world gracefully towards the more tranquil, softer light of evening. The forms of the distant hills were now distinct, gaining a deeper, richer hue. They stood as stoic, ancient sentinels, reflecting the sun's long westward journey. The world, vibrant and alive under the sun's sustained gaze, pulsed with enduring effort. It was a realm of persistent work, of communal responsibility, of patient endurance. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's gentle, steady decline. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground was dry and warm, radiating the day's accumulated heat into the air. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the rich, earthy sense of a long day. The pervasive aroma of the late afternoon was universally comforting and familiar. It infused every sense, sustaining all life for the arduous, vital activities. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality, an endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 23. The Pre-Evening Pause. The sun was now noticeably lower. Nearing the western horizon's gentle curve, its light began to stretch even longer, casting elongated, dancing shadows. The warmth of the day lingered, but a subtle coolness, a whisper of evening, began. The sounds of the encampment began to mellow, softening their intensity. The more strenuous tasks gradually ceased, giving way to preparations for evening. The figures moved with a more relaxed pace, gathering tools, preparing meals. They settled into a quiet rhythm, anticipating the end of the day's labors. The fires were fed with fresh wood, their flames reaching higher, preparing for night. Their smoke rose steadily, a comforting plume against the softening sky. The air carried the rich scents of roasting food, mingling with dry earth and wood smoke. The sky above remained a clear blue, though hints of orange and yellow began to appear. It was a vast, open invitation to the quiet contemplation of the day's close. The moon and stars remained completely absent, still awaiting their turn. The sun, though sinking, still held its powerful, diminishing dominion. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation unceasingly. It moved the world gracefully towards the soft, golden light of early evening. The forms of the distant hills were now deeply shadowed, gaining immense depth. They stood as stoic, ancient sentinels, watching the sun's long, final descent. The world, vibrant under the sun's sustained gaze, slowly began its winding down. It was a realm of winding up, of preparing for rest, of communal gathering. The concept of time was now measured by the sun's final, lingering moments. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground remained dry and warm, steadily radiating the day's absorbed heat. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the rich, earthy sense of a long day. The pervasive aroma of the early evening was universally comforting and familiar. It infused every sense, preparing all life for the tranquil repose. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 24. The golden hour's glow. The sun now hung low, just above the western edge, casting a long golden light. It was the golden hour, a time of soft, warm, ethereal illumination across the land. The warmth of the day, though diminishing, still lingered, a comforting embrace. The sounds of the encampment softened further, becoming more domestic, more gentle. The distant shouts were replaced by quiet conversations, the crackle of evening fires. The figures gathered closer, their faces illuminated by the warm, declining light. They shared the day's bounty, stories of the hunt, news from the gathering. The fires now burned brightly, their flames dancing against the deepening twilight. Their smoke rose in steady columns, scenting the air with their comforting presence. The air was filled with the rich, inviting aromas of cooked food and burning wood. The sky above transformed into a breathtaking display of oranges, purples, and deep reds. It was a grand, majestic canvas, painted by the sun's final, glorious farewell. The moon and stars remained hidden, awaiting the sun's complete departure. The sun, though nearing its end, still held its powerful, beautiful dominion. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation, unceasingly. It ushered the world gracefully towards the soft, mystical embrace of the coming night. The forms of the distant hills were now bold silhouettes etched against the fiery sky. They stood as timeless, watchful sentinels, absorbing the last rays of the sun. The world, vibrant and alive, under the sun's fading gaze, softened into tranquility. It was a realm of rest, of communal bonding, of quiet reflection after the day's toil. The concept of time was now explicitly measured by the sun's imminent disappearance. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground remained dry and warm, steadily radiating the day's deeply absorbed heat. The air was warm, clear, and filled with the rich, soothing sense of a day's end. The pervasive aroma of the golden hour was universally comforting and familiar. It infused every sense, preparing all life for the tranquil, restorative repose. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality. An endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life. Chapter 25. The Sunset's Final Bow. The sun touched the western horizon, a blazing disk of fire and molten gold. Its final, brilliant light exploded across the sky, painting it in impossible hues. The last true warmth of the day lingered, a precious memory before the night's chill. The sounds of the encampment grew quieter, hushed in reverence for the spectacle. Conversations faded to murmurs, movement slowed to a near standstill. The figures watched, their faces illuminated by the intense, fleeting glow. They absorbed the beauty, a silent acknowledgement of the day's powerful close. The fires blazed with renewed vigor, their light preparing for the coming darkness. Their smoke ascended into the vibrant sky, a dark, thin line against the color. The air was filled with the fading scents of day and the rising aromas of evening. The sky above was a breathtaking masterpiece of reds, oranges, and deep purples. It was the sun's grand, majestic, and utterly final farewell to the sleeping world. No stars or moon were visible, waiting patiently beyond the sun's brilliance. The sun, in its final moments, held a fierce, beautiful, powerful dominion. The celestial sphere continued its relentless, silent rotation unceasingly. It plunged the world into the soft, mystical embrace of the full, waiting night. The forms of the distant hills became dark, solid, unyielding silhouettes. They stood as timeless, watchful sentinels, guarding the line between day and night. The world, vibrant just moments before, now softened into a profound tranquility. It was a realm of deep rest, of communal peace, of quiet anticipation for sleep. The concept of time was now entirely defined by the sun's complete disappearance. The moon, unseen and resting, patiently awaited its turn to illuminate the coming night. The ground was cooling rapidly, releasing its accumulated heat into the air. The air was cool, fresh, and filled with the rich, earthy scents of night's arrival. The pervasive aroma of sunset was universally comforting and deeply familiar. It infused every sense, preparing all life for the tranquil, restorative repose. The moon, a faithful, silent guardian, was now truly at rest, hidden from view. It had perfectly performed its ancient duty, ushering in the new cycle of light. Its long, ethereal journey was paused, awaiting its next turn in the cosmic dance. The profound quietude of the Stone Age night was completely, utterly replaced. It yielded to the vibrant sounds and purposeful movements of a bustling day. Each full, waking breath was a testament to life, to survival, to enduring existence. The last whispers of dreams were replaced by the sharp, undeniable focus of reality. The demands of the hunt, the gathering, the shelter, filled their waking thoughts. The moon, a celestial orchestrator, had completed its part in the morning's symphony. It allowed the sun to fully claim the sky with its dominant, life-giving light. It effortlessly guided the world from mystical darkness into the clear, bright, purposeful day. The long, slow, and immeasurably deep hours of the night had fully concluded. Each singular moment had been an ancient, deliberate breath, part of the eternal cosmic rhythm. The very air vibrated with a low, deep, almost audible hum of complete, purposeful vitality, an endless, utterly tranquil flow of pure, unblemished existence, now transformed into energetic day. The profound, encompassing stillness was fully broken by the robust, rhythmic activities of fully awake, stirring life.